2025 is here to stay, and we are ready to go with plenty of optimism here at A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. Say goodbye to the December doldrums, and let's ring in the new year together with all the fun. Well, Happy New Year, Diego. How did the festivities go for you?
It was very nice. It was very nice. We had a very good family New Year celebration here in Neighbor Brewing. The rest, it was just family and partying.
Yeah,
That was excellent.
as it should be.
Hope everybody else back there had a great end of the year and a wonderful beginning of yours.
Well, so we had a quite a busy week here, obviously with the holiday season. We had Egbert here. We had our Boxing
So
Day
many
event.
things.
We had obviously the New Year's event. And also on top of that, we had 2 match weeks in the English League. So let's jump right into them. We'll start with our second annual Boxing Day festivities. We were up bright and early at 7 o'clock in the morning here, starting to get things set up. Man City looking to get back on the front foot after an extremely difficult couple of months here. They hosted Everton, who, bottom half of the table. They always bring a good fight, but, they're not going to be uprooting any trees.
Yeah.
And it finished 1-1, an early goal from Bernardo Silva, canceled out by Ndiaye in the 36th minute. A missed penalty from Erling Haaland.
All kinds of things happened that day.
It is the exact opposite of what we expect from historic Man City, where they used to just find ways to get
win.
goals and win. They're now finding ways to drop points.
100%. It is just incredible. It's just against the culture. It's just totally uncharacteristic of them. It's incredible. It's the game. They had it dominated in the first half, and I came in a little early. Dave was the one that was here actually at 7, but no. What I saw was a complete dismantling of that team. They just kind of fell apart. They tried, and it's Man City, like you said. They were such a much better team, but again, agreeing with you, they found a way to drop those points.
Yep.
It was incredible.
We will know, we're not going to talk too much about it, but later in the weekend, they did get 3 points at Leicester on Sunday the 29th, so they are back to winning ways.
Yep.
4 points in the last 2 matches for Man City. Normally, we would laugh at even
Exactly.
trying to justify this.
That is literally what I was going to say.
You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
The fact that the confidence and the aura of Man City has fallen so far so quickly.
Yes.
You'll take this. You'll take the 4 points. Hopefully, you can build into something of substance in the next 4 matches, because if they don't do it here,
it's running out of time.
They host West Ham on Saturday.
Yep.
They host the following Saturday Salford City, League 2 team in the FA Cup,
Yep.
which should be an easy victory.
Very winnable game.
They travel to Brentford the following Tuesday, the 14th.
And then things get
They
heavy.
travel to Ipswich on the 19th, and then they have at PSG in Champions League, hosting Chelsea, hosting Club Brugge in Champions League, at Arsenal, hosting Newcastle, hosting Liverpool, at Tottenham, at surprise third place team, I think now, Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
So that is 8 straight matches of
Grind and
absolute
grind
grinding and probably must wins. It really
No matter what competition you're talking about. You got the champions and you got your domestic, and then you got the FA, which at this point they shouldn't even be worrying about it. To be 100% honest with you, they shouldn't even be caring about the FA, but they still playing on it.
Right.
So it's a lot of games, which plays right into what Guardiola is saying. That there is too many games, everybody's tired, but you got to find a way to overcome.
Right.
That is
right.
just bottom line.
it's the price you pay for success. Is
Yeah.
you get into Champions League year
Yeah.
after year. You
Yeah.
get into these other tournaments. You go further in the FA Cup. You go
Yeah.
into the Club World Cup that'll be this summer. Here in the U.S. So it's.
It's tough, but
I don't
you ask for it.
disagree, but you're right. You ask for it by being successful.
Exactly.
So,
So you just gotta man up, as they say.
Yep. So, and we did have a surprise request for the 10 o'clock window on Boxing Day.
Yes.
We had a lovely group of Nottingham Forest fans who they claim they were fans, before this
Before
season.
this.
And Forest defeated Tottenham Hotspur 1-0.
Yeah.
An Anthony Elanga goal in the 28th minute. A late red card of no substance for the Spurs.
No.
But Nottingham Forest, with 29% possession and only 3 shots on target, escaped with a victory. And,
That's what they're doing. That's how they're playing.
Absolutely incredible. Nuno Espirito Santo has done a great job with this squad.
Yep.
I should take behind the curtain a little bit.
Yeah.
They are spending like a rather large team.
Yes.
Since their promotion, they have definitely spent big on a squad. But still, so have Man United. So
Absolutely.
is Man City.
Everybody
so is
that has
Chelsea.
the money will throw it at the other players.
Just spending is not a recipe for success.
Yeah.
They seem to be spending it in the right areas.
And you know what they do have? I haven't seen. This is the first game I watched of them. They have discipline.
They do.
They're very organized and they don't break. The whole bend but don't break
Right.
theory. That's them right now.
And you
They
look
let
at them defensively. They've only conceded 19 goals.
Yeah.
Only behind Liverpool and Arsenal, who are joint first on 17.
It's crazy.
I'm just looking at some of these stats. Nottingham Forest has played 19 matches. They've scored 26 goals, and they're in third place in the league. Those numbers are the next team in the table that has less goals in them is in 13th, and that's West Ham. So,
But again, the defensive
Yeah,
discipline,
yeah.
the
They
way to
are-
play those matches, they play in. They remind me of that Spaniard team that won the World Cup. Most of the games were 1-0.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Most of the,
Yeah.
you defended, you held, and you got the results. And
Right.
this is how they're playing right now. And it's incredible. I'm very happy. And it's, again, a show. It's not about the money. It's about what you do with what you get with that
Listen,
money.
If it weren't for Bournemouth fighting them on the table here,
Yeah.
I would be all in on Forest. It really is a great
Absolutely.
story.
Not even gonna lie.
Obviously, we hope that they lose every match to Bournemouth, but it really is cool to see.
Yeah.
And who knows? Is this a result of PSR and all the financial fair play? Is this just a fluky season, much like the year Leicester won the title, where you have Forest and Bournemouth and Fulham and Brighton in the top half of the table right now? And then you have West Ham and United and Palace and Everton in the bottom half of the table.
I mean, to be honest and to be optimistic, I want to say that it's a result of the regulations.
Yeah,
It's trying to it's kind of even in the playing field a little bit.
You never know. Obviously, a half a season is not big enough of a sample size to judge that.
Not yet.
But if this is a trend moving forward, I think it's good for the entertainment of the league. What I don't think it's good for is England's status among Europe.
I mean, yeah, but a healthy competition would eventually get more fans because
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Nottingham Forest in Champions League next year.
Okay.
I'm talking about
Okay.
Bournemouth potentially in Europa League, Fulham in Europa League, Brighton in Conference League. With the fair, the financial rules that they have in place,
Yeah.
are they hamstringing themselves when it comes to European play now?
Maybe.
Yeah,
But
again, time will tell.
But the other thing is, this is not the only country that is applying those rules.
Correct, but
and
that's
so
the funny
there are
kind of gray area is
situations
every country can apply them specific to their country.
to their country. But if we looked at the other leagues, they are having the same kind of situations.
Yeah.
You see Madrid. Madrid is not just dominating right
Right.
now. I mean, Barca is, but Barca is doing it in a very creative way right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? They have all these young players coming up. So they are finding ways. So maybe we will see a Valencia or a Rayo
Yeah.
Vallecano also in Europa, and that kind of like evens out
Yeah,
the
I mean, you
playing
had it
field.
last
It's
year
like-
with Girona.
Yeah, there you go.
Obviously, they are a city football group club, so there's a little bit of gray area there. You know, gray areas on top of gray areas here. But no, I'm all for it. I love seeing, these 2-3 year waves
Yeah.
of success for certain clubs, and then
Absolutely.
the ebb and flow of the league. Nobody likes it when Man United was winning every year, or Man
Exactly.
City has been winning every year, or
Exactly.
you had a 10-year span where I think Munich and Juventus both won the league every year.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's the ebbs and flows. Like if
Right.
the big teams are going to go back to the top eventually. It's not like it's going to change too much. There is tradition. There is the desire of other players to
Sure,
go
sure.
to these teams. Just because Nottingham and all these teams are having success right now, they're not going to keep just steadily bringing higher and higher caliber of players. No, the best players are going to go to the better teams, to the more traditional teams. So yeah, let's enjoy this for what it is.
For sure. Oh yeah, yeah. It really is. Like I said, and all kidding aside, I hope they do incredibly well.
Yeah.
Other than the match against Bournemouth.
Yep, they better lose.
But no, to reiterate that, to see a squad like Forest, who, is an upstart.
Yeah.
Although they do have a pedigree from decades and decades ago.
No,
they
absolutely.
are 2-time European champions, oddly enough. But to see, a squad of that caliber,
A little
make
resurgence,
waves
yeah.
and do that to the old guard has been incredible.
Absolutely. Totally
Speaking of
agree.
making waves with the old guard, the 12:30 kickoff on Boxing Day was a bottom of the table 6-pointer. Wolves and hosting Man United.
That was
And
incredible.
again, there's a lot of optimism around Ruben Amorim, but at
Doesn't look-
some point you have to get the results. You can't
Yes.
just have, I'm on record. You can listen back. When they first hired him, I said, we probably not until April, May will truly
See what happens. Yeah.
what his squad is going to look like, what they're going to look like, long term. But they lost 2-0 at Wolves. A silly red card
Oh,
from
absolutely.
Bruno Fernandes.
Absolutely. That was infuriating, man.
And that did them in.
Yep.
They only conceded 4 shots on target. 2 of them happened to have gone in. Acuna goal in the 58th minute. And then
The goals were good, though.
Yeah,
The goals were.
and then
were
they were just
earned.
kind of pushing guys forward, and a 99th minute goal from Hwang Hee-chan to
Yeah.
really close things out.
But that was the thing. Yes, Wolves only had 4 shots, but we can see right here that Man City only also
Right.
had
Oh yeah,
4
no,
shots.
it
It's
was,
not like they're producing anything.
you know,
It just looks
yeah. I mean, obviously, it
disorganized.
makes it tougher to
Play with
concede-
10 men?
concede the extra man there.
Yeah.
But again, it's a very interesting time period here with this winter window opening up.
Yeah. What are they gonna do?
Transfer rumors abound.
Absolutely.
And we'll see. Do these teams have the money to, because there is a January
Those
window,
constraints, yeah.
tax, so to speak, that you put on these players because you're losing a squad player in the middle of the season.
Yes.
So
You're
there
100%.
usually is a little bit of a premium on those.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, especially with Manchester United, I see they don't seem to be able to work with those constraints. They're a team that's
No.
used to just throw money and money
that's
and
how
money
they've
at
operated
things
for the better part of 30
forever,
years.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
So it's kind of really hard for them to accommodate this, and they better find somebody. They need to get a frugal coach to teach them how to be that
Yeah,
way.
I do think Amorim long term will be successful there. It's just a matter of if the board and the fans
They're gonna be patient enough.
can be patient enough to make that happen.
And right now, it doesn't look like they
not,
are.
Not at all. So closing out our Boxing Day, Liverpool hosted Leicester City en route to a 3-1 victory, which puts Liverpool with a match in hand, 6 points clear of second place Arsenal.
Yeah.
They are firing on all cylinders, only 1 loss, only 17 goals conceded in 18 matches compared
Yeah.
to their 45 scored. And look out, but Mo Salah is getting hot again.
Yes.
Lucho has been playing well.
Yeah, yeah.
To a point where Jota has been playing great. To the point where Darwin Nunez can't even find
Can't
time on the
e-
field. Cody
that's what I was
Gakpo
gonna
Cody
say.
Gakpo
Yeah,
has
yeah.
been playing well.
But no, you know what? Like you said, they're not. They have such good players that they can find time on the field.
Yeah.
That now that they're playing multiple competitions, they're dominating in both ends because they got the luxury to
Yep,
be able
yep.
to spread out their teams like that. You know what I mean? You have 2 or 3 starters
Right.
that have to be in the reserve squad type deal.
Yeah, yeah,
So
no.
they're being blessed right now. They're being
including
incredibly
their,
blessed
their
right now.
goalkeeper Kelleher, who
Yes.
honestly, I think he needs to leave this year.
Yeah, he needs an opportunity somewhere else.
Unless he's confident that Alisson is going in the next this year or next.
Yeah, no.
And he's had injury issues. He's fallen off, significantly in his playing ability. So it might be the right time for Kelleher just to step up and be the number one here at Liverpool. But
Yeah, but it's policies at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's loyalty, and they seem to be very loyal with their goalies.
yeah, I mean
for the
there's
most part.
loyalty, and then there's
Results.
needing to win the match. So
That is true. We'll see.
all right, so moving on to our cherries on top segment, we had a pair of draws. I say unfortunately, and again, that just shows how far Bournemouth have come in the last
Yes.
couple of years. When, when 2 draws, one
Are a little
yeah,
unsatisfactory.
one was their Boxing Day home match against Crystal Palace, scoreless draw, and then they traveled to another surprise upstart, 8th place Fulham, with a 2-2 draw. For the Americans around here that are listening, 2 assists from Anthony Robinson at left back.
Yeah.
Both incredible balls. For me, the marking from the back line of Bournemouth was a little bit suspect.
Yeah. At least in the second match, I want to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, from that aspect, it wasn't great. But again, the results that we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
I think they're unbeaten in their last 6, I want to say. Now, along with that goes, several draws. But still, that's what you need to get if you want to, first and foremost, stay above the relegation zone.
Absolutely.
But get into the top half of the table, threaten for Europe.
Yeah.
You'll take a point here and there.
Well,
What you
absolutely.
can't take is those losses. So
Absolutely. Now the thing is, the team is playing to a point that is giving us those type of expectations.
Right.
They are playing at a level that we expect them to win. And when they tie, we're like, man, you had the chances. I mean, we watch the
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
They have plenty of opportunities in every single game. They
And-
create
and
really well.
my worry is exactly that. I believe they lead the league in chances created.
Yeah.
Obviously, Evan Nielsen is coming back onto stride. He actually scored in the 51st minute on a beautiful goal, and then Dango with in the 89th minute another last
Banger.
minute goal from Bournemouth. But the problem is their conversion rate on these good
Exactly.
chances is just not where it needs to be for a team that has European aspirations.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
unfortunately, one of the only ways to do that is to buy a proven forward.
Yeah.
And that, especially again in the January window, that's going to cost you money.
Yes.
I am hearing rumors. I don't know how well founded they are, but I'm hearing lone rumors of Manchester United's Marcus Rashford
Really?
potentially being shopped around to
Ooh.
Bournemouth.
That would be a great thing.
It could be. He if you talk to the United faithful, he really seems to have lost his way. He doesn't seem to be playing for the team anymore, and it's tough to tell if that is
Him or the
him or is it
situation.
a United thing.
True. Very true.
This could be one of those situations where everyone comes out a winner. If
Yeah.
this happens, where he kind of has a renaissance.
Yes.
He is a new face in the new squad.
Very
He
true.
lights it up. He would still be a United player, so the value, would then
Will
be there
increase,
for a potential
exactly.
sale. And maybe that's just what the doctor ordered for
Sometimes
Rashford.
a change of environment
Oh,
helps
yeah.
everybody around. That will be an interesting thing to do. But as long as it doesn't affect the chemistry of Bournemouth,
Right.
You
And
can.
that's the big worry from the Bournemouth side of things.
Yeah, because they're playing well. They don't really need reinforcement. They just need character. They need to believe that they are. I mean, they're in the place that they have never been before. So that's kind of like one of the things, you know.
And that's something
they need
that
to believe on that.
But that's something that Rashford
earned.
could provide.
Confidence.
Well, he's played in World Cups.
True.
He's played in Euros. He's played in Champions League.
Maybe
he's
maybe
got
a leader.
Nearly 300 appearances for United. He's been in cup finals. He's been there. He's done all that.
You're absolutely right.
Again, I am just an outside perspective, skin deep of my thoughts. I don't know Rashford at all. I don't know the situation at United.
Absolutely.
I don't know, how he would, is it a round peg in a square hole at Bournemouth? I do know that Bournemouth likes to play with quick guys on the wing.
Yes, and he's perfect
Rashford
for it.
is one of them.
Yeah.
So he could potentially, not good for you, but that could, bump Sinisterra out of the mix.
Though. As long as the team plays well, Sinisterra will find his way.
But that's definitely
find
a role
his
that
chances.
Bournemouth likes to attack from, whether it's Sinisterra, whether it's Tavernier, whether it's Justin Kluivert, whether it's Semenyo on the other side, Dango.
Yes.
Like they play through the wings.
And you know what? I think Tavernier will benefit a lot from that player coming in because I see a lot of indecision. I mean, he's a great player. He creates a lot of opportunities, but he is indecisive at the end. In the last few meters. Tavernier.
Yeah.
Yep. Tavernier is kind of indecisive at the end, and he's missed a lot of opportunities himself.
he
to be objectively.
For me, he's wildly inconsistent.
Yes,
He'll have
absolutely.
2, 3, 4 weeks at a time
That
where you can't take him off the field.
No.
And then, there'll be weeks where you wonder why he's even in the 18.
And the thing is, even with the good weeks that he's got, that he's creating play and everything, there's always that missed opportunity. There is always that one that he gets right in front of the goalie, and he doesn't really know what to do with it.
So as it stands right now, Bournemouth currently sit in 7th place, only, 5 points out of Champions League spots.
And fighting positions with Man City.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So here, Liverpool, just for the record, Liverpool and Everton, they're working on rescheduling that Merseyside derby. So they are all on 18 matches played. Everyone else in the league is on 19. So we are officially not with that one match withstanding at the halfway point of the season. So Liverpool, with that game in hand, are on 45. Arsenal 39. Forest 37. Chelsea 35 to round out the top 4. Newcastle in 5th on 32. Man City on 31, and little old Bournemouth in 7th on 30. So, so one win could propel them right into that 5th place Europa League spot.
Yes, sir.
But right on their heels are Fulham and Villa, both on 29, and Brighton on 27 to close out the top half of the table.
Absolutely.
So on the bottom half, we have Southampton, who are dead to rights, in my opinion. 6 points from their first 19 matches. And then you have a little bit of a logjam here. Leicester on 14, Ipswich on 15, both in the relegation zone. Wolves, who just had that big win against United, and I believe are undefeated under their new manager. They're on 16, Everton on 17, Palace on 20, and Man United on 22. So
it's tough.
I can't believe we're at the halfway point of the season and saying
the Man
United. I think they're safe, but there is a chance of a Man United relegation. And I was just reading several of the players have clauses in their contracts
that if they go relegated, they leave.
They can leave.
Oh,
so which is not uncommon. Most
it happens,
most
yeah.
of them, but
especially teams that big.
Right, but
that
the fact that you have players that are on a couple $100,000 a week that now have that clause in their contract, it's interesting to see. So, all right, guys, that will do it for our week abroad. We'll be right back. We do have some domestic news here and there.
Absolutely.
So it will be good to get back to some of that in our slow American off season.
It takes a little.
Stick around, guys. All right, welcome back to A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. We've got Diego here, I'm Dave, and we are here for 100 Miles to Home, our coverage of all things local professional soccer. That's Gotham, that's Red Bull, that's NYCFC, that is Hudson Valley Hammers, that is Westchester SC.
Anybody and anybody that plays within the Hudson River.
Right, a couple other clubs that are up and coming that we will start coverage with probably next year as they come into their professional careers.
I mean, you know, that's one of the beautiful things of this show that we want to do is put out the local sports out, you know, create that community. So once we start the news with those teams, please follow us and follow them.
For sure. All right, so we are going to start with the NWSL. A lot of off-season news for Gotham FC. They, in the last week plus, probably the last 9 days or so now, they have traded away both Lynn Williams and Yasmin Ryan. It is very interesting to me to hear the news of these trades. I did also hear that Yasmin Ryan's was a trade request from the player itself. So stuff like this on the heels of winning the title in 23. They went all in. They brought in several national team players, including Berger, the German international goalkeeper, and they made the playoffs. They it didn't fall for them
as
to
well
go back
as they
to back.
wanted.
But I'm not saying they're blowing up the roster and starting over, but to trade away these players. Williams, who is the NWSL's all-time leading scorer, she was traded on December 20th to the Seattle Reign in exchange for goalkeeper Cassie Miller. With Cassie Miller, rather. Lynn Williams and Cassie Miller in exchange for Jalen Howell, an international roster spot, and $70,000 in allocation money. I believe they are rumored to, I don't know if it has been confirmed yet, they are rumored to be signing a Brazilian forward.
Yes.
So that is probably
Gabby something.
Portinha?
Yes. Yes.
So that will most likely take up that international roster spot and the $70,000.
Yeah.
And then the bigger news, at least from our standpoint, is the trade of Yasmin Ryan to the Houston Dash.
Yes.
I believe it is the highest dollar value for a player in NWSL history. A league record $400,000 in allocation money.
Wow, so, that is actually pretty good for her. Good.
Oh no, yeah,
I'm happy for her.
It's good business. I'm happy for her. If she's requested the trade, but it makes you wonder,
what is the plan?
Why did she request the trade?
Yeah.
From their infancy, back in the Sky Blue days, they were never regarded as a, extremely well-run organization.
Okay.
Did Gotham winning the title last year kind of paper over some of those cracks? I don't know.
They must have. I mean, winning cures all ailments. But the thing is, they built a super team. That was the idea. They put in all the money. It didn't pan out. Now you kind of got to compromise. Right. You got to bring new people. You got to reinvent yourself a little bit. The core of the team is there. They still not only brought 4 national players, they put in another 4 from the rest of the team. They got plenty of stars right now. Maybe that's another thing. Yasmin wasn't getting too much play.
Right. It could also just be salary cap juggling. Obviously that's well beyond our expertise of knowing the.
Plus, like you said, there was a lot of money coming in for her. Though. I mean, request or not request, that's money influx that is going to help Gotham a ton. So we'll see. I mean, they're still very good. They're definitely still very good. I am surprised they let the goalkeeper go. Yeah, that is one thing.
Oh, the backup.
The backup goalkeeper, because I mean, the other goalkeeper, I can't think of her name right now. She kind of got injured a lot.
Berger?
Things happened to her a couple of
times. And then there was the Olympics also, so it was like a kind of a juggling act over there.
So in that case, I kind of need somebody. You know what I mean?
Oh no, for sure.
And she was a very reliable backup, which I think is super important in a team. I mean, they're unnoticed, but when you don't have them and you need them, That's when problems
Right,
happen.
right.
You know.
All right, over to the men's side with NYCFC. I don't believe it has been officially released, but Pascal Janssen, a Dutch national manager, will be the head coach for the 2025 season.
Oh.
City Football Group reportedly bought out his contract. He was at Ferencváros in the Hungarian league. He was a former assistant to Liverpool's Arne Slot.
Okay.
So there's a track record of success there.
Yes.
Within the Dutch league. He's a good young manager from all accounts that I've heard.
True.
It will remain to be seen kind of
What is going to happen with the team?
what that does to the squad. And also, I actually totally forgot to mention this, outgoing will be James Sands, center back and defensive midfielder. His contract was extended with NYCFC, and then he was promptly loaned out to, I believe, St. Pauli in the German Bundesliga.
Okay, that's good.
St. Pauli. So St. Pauli is fighting, relegation battle. They wanted some reinforcements. Sands gets another chance to try his ply his trade in Europe after a mixed bag of success at Rangers where he was. So good for Sands. Maybe this will put him back on the national team map as well.
It's an opportunity as long as you get to play.
Right.
But especially with
at the same
this type
time,
of athletes.
he started in 30-plus matches for NYCFC.
Yeah.
Where do we look to replace those minutes now?
Reinventing. I mean, it's all on the coach right now. I don't know if you need to blow the team up, but
I'm
need
not
to make
saying
some
that.
changes.
But we certainly, NYCFC certainly need to fill that role.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a leader on the field. He was
And
a
they can
captain
go
at times.
Look for a couple of Colombian players.
There
We
you
have
go.
some great defenders right now. So, maybe keep an ear open on that one.
All right. So moving on to what's on tap, our first week of watch parties in 2025, and we have 3 on Saturday, including we're not gonna do split screen. We'll bring the extra TV up for our Man City friends. So at 10 a.m. we have Bournemouth hosting Everton and Man City hosting West Ham United.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, this is a match that both teams need.
Yes, absolutely.
For vastly different reasons. But if Bournemouth wants to keep their European,
Hopes
aspirations
alive,
on track, this is a match against a bottom of the table team that, although they're always going to put in a lot of effort and a good shift, Bournemouth needs to come out with 3 points in this match.
100%. And Man City, on the other hand, really, really needs to win
Man
everything
I can't believe I'm saying this. Man City needs to help and keep pace with Bournemouth. So it really is, the whole league, I feel like, is just being turned upside down, bar a couple, normal,
Yes.
you got Liverpool,
No,
Arsenal, and
100%.
Chelsea up top. And then following that, at 12:30 on Saturday, we have our first unofficial Seagulls on the Hudson watch party. Brighton and Hove Albion hosting second place Arsenal right here in the tap room.
Yep.
So should be in terms of playing style, both teams, I love the way they play. It should be a great matchup. And hopefully for Mike and crew of Seagulls on the Hudson,
will be a victory.
We can christen their supporters club with a victory, but we'll see. That's why they're played on.
Game's got to be played, yeah.
And then following that, our first Stein Sunday of the new year, Liverpool hosting Man United.
Yes.
Which,
it's going to be a beating.
Again, with everything going on with United lately, you may think that the fixture has lost a little cachet, but Liverpool United goes well beyond that.
Exactly. It's not about the results of the position in the table.
Right, and sometimes even more so because nobody wants to add misery to Man United like Liverpool.
Yes, indeed. That is true.
So that will be a very fun fixture, our first Stein Sunday. So bring your Steins. We do still have some Steins left for sale. We do discounted fills every Sunday, whether it's for a soccer match or just Sunday in general. But come on down. We'd love to see you.
Yeah, get your Stein and drink it up.
And have a fun party with us while we watch
Absolutely.
soccer. Last things, one for the road. You got anything?
I mean, like you said, I don't know, you kind of briefly said it, but we are opening a new supporters club
Yep.
here, the Seagulls on the Hudson. It's gonna be a Brighton supporters. So if there is any Brighton people out there, or do you know somebody that it's a Brighton fan, just come and tell
Yeah,
them.
come on
You
out.
know, we got one of our friends, Mike. He's gonna be the one running it. So contact us. We'll put you in touch with Mike, and let's go. Let's
Right,
support.
right. And if you are a supporter of another club that you'd like to see more here, let us know as well. You know,
Absolutely.
we're a giant tap room space for about 275 people. There's plenty of room for another
Yes.
supporters club here in the mix. So
Absolutely. We got
whether
plenty of
it's-
TVs as well. So yeah, come on,
whether
bring your
it's
people.
England, whether it's Madrid or Barcelona or a German team, Italian, by all means, let's bring it on.
Yeah.
We've
Absolutely.
through the help of you guys all, we've built a great community here, and
Yes.
and there's nothing we want more than to continue to grow that. So
100%, guys. So
my one for the road is a little less aspirational, I guess. For those who've been following, this has been like a 2 or 3 year saga with
Barcelona.
with Barcelona and the levers that they have to pull. Why can't I remember the word in Spanish? It's escaped me. But Barcelona have failed to register Dani Olmo, despite their extensions, and as per his contract, he is eligible now to leave as a free agent. All things point to him having no interest in doing
No.
that. They are trying to work out some other scenarios in which they can register both he and Pau Victor.
yeah.
But to as well as they're playing on the field this year, it has been a revelation of
Creativity, I
how-
want to say.
yeah. I don't know if it's I'm not in tune with their finances. I don't know if it's poor management. I don't know. They're not the only one, but I'm sure COVID,
No,
certainly,
didn't help, yeah,
gave them a
100%.
knock on their revenues. But they really seem to be mortgaging their future just to keep afloat
I
day
know,
by
no,
day.
you're 100% right. It was extremely, extremely corrupt and poor management from the directives. But they're doing the best they can. They're doing the best they can. And like we talk about it, these type of regulations affect all
Right,
countries
right.
and affect all teams. And Barcelona is just digging themselves out of a hole that it was dug for like 20 years.
But they're
It is just-
continuing to dig though, and that's my concern.
Well.
They're selling off stadium rights. They're selling off other assets that
True.
there's no recovering from that.
Yeah, true. Once you lose-
so
once you lose those
it,
type- yeah,
I don't know. And I think I happen to like watching Barcelona play, but I think just fans of the game, whether you're Barcelona, Madrid, the U.S., Far East, Africa, the rest of Europe, wherever you are, to see a club like Barcelona with the not just recent but full history that they have
Yeah.
to be in these situations seemingly every month. Like every time, okay, we figured this one out, and then
Yeah.
something else comes up where
All
they're
those-
having to sell this to appease that, and
What is it? What is it? Borrowing from Peter to pay Paul?
exactly borrowing from Peter to pay Paul.
And then they're gonna have to keep doing that forever until somebody with a lot of money, most likely from the Middle East, buys everybody and everything, pays everything off. But other than that, I don't see much salvaging Barcelona like that. Again, they're playing a great football right now.
Yeah.
They're top of the league and everything, but management is management, and no players have a say on that. You know what I mean? It's a thing way beyond
it has
their
been,
capabilities.
It has been a crazy time for them.
Yeah.
Despite they won a title, they're competing in Europe, and just it's
It's just not gonna work.
the financials are not working for them. So.
And I don't think they're ever gonna work again.
No.
They need to, and this is another type of blowing up a team. They need to just
Yeah.
sell the team out to somebody else and have somebody else management. But I don't even know if Barcelona is like a city team. That
Yeah,
is
no,
partially
they are owned by the socios.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, so there's certainly an extra layer of complexity when it comes to that.
So yeah, no, this is not gonna get any better anytime
No.
soon. We're gonna have a long time to talk about Barcelona.
For sure.
Maybe we'll make it a segment.
Separate episode just on the financial difficulties
Barcelona's
of Barcelona.
woes.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for us this week. As you can see on the bottom here, you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky. Send us an email, whatever you guys want. We are always looking to add to the what we offer here. By all means, share, tell your friends about
Absolutely.
the podcast. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, tell your enemies about the podcast. And let's just get more people listening, get more people up here watching games with
Absolutely.
us and building this great community. So thank you for an incredible 2024.
Yes,
From both
absolutely.
Diego and I. And like I said, we're always looking to add new things into the mix. We have a lot of fun plans for 2025. So hopefully you stay tuned and engaged with us, and
Absolutely.
we can make those dreams happen. So thanks again, and we'll catch you next week, guys.
Be blessed, everybody. Cheers.